Hey guys, it's Ashley. Today I am here with my July book haul. Now you may have noticed from other videos that I was actually on a book buying ban for the month of July, so you might be wondering, Ashley, how do you have a book haul if you were on a book buying ban? Free books, and one exception to my rule. We'll get into that. So this is actually a pretty small haul. This is only my second book haul on BookTube. My first book haul was ginormous because it was my BookCon haul and I made out fantastically at BookCon. So this is very small, but that's okay because I didn't expect to have any books this month, and I have 4 whole new books. I'm super excited. The first book up on my list I got while I was on vacation. I went to my favorite thrift store up in the mountains, and they had 2 buckets of books that just said free, and I can't say no to free books, so I stopped and went through it, and most of the books that I wanted in the bucket I already owned, so I left them there. But this one, kind of like having books like this in my possession, and that is the Trauma Manual from Lippincott. As you know, I am a nurse, and I like having books like this in my possession because I kind of have always felt like someday I'm going to end up living in like a third world country or something as a missionary or whatever, and so I want to have kind of these resources available to me. This is a pretty recent volume of this book, and it just goes through how to care for a trauma patient. Very basic, very quick. It's all like bullet points and outlines, so you don't have to waste time like reading lots of paragraphs. So it's kind of cool. I'm kind of excited for it. The second book I got during my book ban was A Noble Masquerade by Christie Ann Hunter. This is an advanced reader copy that I got from the publisher through Library Things Early Reviewer program. I actually already read this book and it will be covered in my July wrap-up, so I'm not going to go into too much depth, but essentially it takes place in the Regency period of London, and it follows Lady Miranda, who is in her 4th season in society, which means she is very close to being labeled an old maid because she just can't find a husband. She's not really attracted to any of the men that she knows, any of the men in her circle, and the ones that she does show an interest in, they're only after her money, and so she doesn't want them for that. She's always dealt with her frustrations by writing letters to her brother's school friend, who she never actually met, but it sounded like he would always go on great adventures, so she started writing him letters and never actually sending them. Through a mix-up, one of her letters actually gets sent, and he responds, and they start corresponding and starting this relationship, while at the same time she starts having feelings for her brother's new valet, which of course is against the rules of society. It's just this really fun love triangle. There's also some intrigue because there's this whole subplot of spies on the property, people trading state secrets during the war, and it's just a really great book. This book comes out in September. You can read my review on my blog. I may or may not do a book talk about this. If you would like to see a book talk, please leave me a comment down below and I will make it happen. The next book that came into my possession during my July book ban was Dustlands Blood Red Road by Maura Young? Something like that. My brother gave me this book. He somehow came into possession of 2 copies of it, and he knows I like the books, so he gave me his copy. He did say that he had a very hard time getting into it, that he hasn't read it yet. He tried and just couldn't make it through because the writing style is very kind of difficult, that there's no quotation mark, and it's all kind of told by this one girl who doesn't have very much education, who speaks very harshly, and so it's all written as she would pronounce things and as she would say things, so it's like she don't speak, just J-E-S-T, just cowers there. Then he screams it, spit flying from his mouth. How do you address your king? Your Majesty. So I think it's going to be a little rough. I don't know when I'm going to get into it. It sounds like it could be pretty interesting. It's about this girl who goes off to save her brother, who is kidnapped by 4 cloaked horsemen. It's a difference. Goes off to rescue them, ends up maybe saving her whole world. I don't know how it works. I didn't read the back too closely, but it sounds like it could be interesting, but I feel like the writing style might be kind of difficult, so I'm holding off on this for a little bit. I have some other books I want to get to before I read this. If you've read it, please let me know down below what you think of it. How was it to read with the difficult language and lack of quotations? The last book that came into my possession during the July book buying ban, I did spend money for. Full price. Well, as full price as Amazon gets. But I knew going into my book buying ban, I told myself, no buying books except for one. You can buy 1 book for vacation. And I kind of figured it was going to be this one because I really, really wanted it. I've been waiting for it for like over a year since it was first announced, and I finished the rest of the series. But the book is The Heir by Kira Cass. I am so excited about this book. I flew through the first 3 books of the Selection series. Like, one after the other. I got the first one on my Kindle, read it in a day, and immediately downloaded the second book. And then I had to wait a little while for the third one to come out, and I loved it, flew through that in a day. And then they finally announced that this one was coming out, and I knew I had to have it. This cover is so beautiful. I just can't even stand it. And then when it's naked, it's got the little crown. It's just like a dusky gray. It's just I am just so excited for this book. I loved the first 3 books of the Selection series. It's so fun. It's like perfect summer reading. It's Hunger Games meets The Bachelor. What's not to love about it? Kira is just the cutest thing ever. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you really should, because she is awesome. And I can't wait to find out what happens. So that is my July book haul. Not the biggest, but not too shabby considering I wasn't allowed to buy books. Have you read any of them? Do you have them? Please let me know what you think down below. I would love to hear from you. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.